As we know, phishing emails are one of the top attack vectors that bad actors use to get your sensitive information, whether it's your bank card, whatever it is. This is a highly used attack vector by a lot of bad actors. Today, we're going to go over some steps that you could take as a normal user, a normal person, that you probably got an email, you're suspicious, you want to know, hey, how can I look at this email as an unexperienced cybersecurity professional, and how can I be safe on my end when I get an email? The email looks legit. What can I do? First thing that you should do, look out for suspicious sender addresses. Now, one thing you gotta keep in mind, if you see an email, it might say Walmart, right? But some people, what they do, they will include the business that they're trying to impersonate into their email that they created, right? It might say, for instance, support@paypal.com, or they might misspell it, right? They might say support@PayPal with like 2 L's or whatever the case may be. Now, you might be just glancing over the email real quick and you see support@PayPal, because one of the top rules is to look and make sure that the email is not coming from a Gmail, right? So if you see something like walmart@gmail.com or paypal@gmail.com, automatically this is a fake email. But of course, these bad actors are smart, right? You might see the support@paypal.com or support@walmart.com, and you might think to yourself, man, this is a real email, but you gotta be careful. Look and double check, make sure that it is the right email coming from them. Whether you call Walmart and ask them like, hey, I got an email from so-and-so, just double checking to see if it's legit, or call PayPal or whoever you get the email from, right? Just to make sure and double check. The second thing that you should do is look out for urgent language. What do I mean by that? The email might say something like, your account will be suspended. Or they would say something like, unusual login suspected. You need to reset your account now. Act now. They're trying to make it urgent to make you feel like something crazy is happening. You need to act now, right? They're trying to force you to either click on a link or whatever in the email. So look out for that. Also, you want to look out for unsuspected attachments or links. Another thing that you could do, because sometimes the name of the link might say one thing, but what you could do is you can hover over the link, and a lot of times that will tell you what the actual link that the attachment that they're sending to you will send you to. And you could look and double check and make sure that this link look like it's sending me somewhere else. Now, like I told you, we will be going over some stuff, some technical stuff, which will be more on the technical side and be more for people who are in the cybersecurity field or just breaking into the field. But if you have the patience, you'll be able to use the same tools as well. Next step is double checking and making sure that they're using proper grammar. Of course, we want to look at the email itself to make sure that the email doesn't have a letter off. For instance, instead of saying WALMART, it says WALMRT, right? Or something of that nature. But you want to check the body of the email itself, because most times when someone is sending a professional email, the grammar is going to be good. Everything is going to look good. It's not going to have no extreme misspelled words where it's seem like someone is trying to sound professional but they're not. And right now we do have AI. That's something else that we got to look out for, is double checking to see if it just looks too professional. Now, you don't want it to look under-professional, but you don't want it to look too professional, because AI is out there right now. And of course, people use AI to craft emails and other malicious stuff. Also, you want to look out for generic greetings. Dear customer, dear user. Majority of the times, especially if you reached out to someone, you have an account with them, whatever, they're going to refer to you by your name. So try to be careful. You see dear customer. If you see dear customer, dear user, or something like that, most professional emails, they're going to respond to you by your name. So just double check that. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have a email that says that and it is legit. We're not saying that, but be careful with that, because that's something that they use a lot. Next thing to keep an eye out for is unusual requests. For instance, you might get an email with somebody impersonating your boss, and then they're telling you about buying gift cards and stuff like that. You know off rip, this can't be your boss. My boss never ask me for this, or they never would. Look out for unusual requests, pay attention to the email, read it and understand it. And if you're suspicious, it's better to check and it was legit than not check and it wasn't legit. Now, ways that you could protect yourself is by, number one, verifying the email with different communications. And what I mean by that, if you get an email from PayPal or your bank or whoever, nothing wrong with calling them and double checking. You can call them, double check, especially if someone is impersonating someone and they using, so for instance, let's say is someone say John Doe at walmart.com. Hey, do you have a user named John Doe, or do you have an employee named John Doe that work with you guys? I just received an email from them. They're asking me to reset my password and blah, 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 right? Now they could double check. You could actually check to see if they really have an employee by this name. And when you tell them the type of email you got and the email it came from, they could verify like, wait, we don't use this type of email convention. We don't use this type of email scheme, because some employees, they'll use your first name dot your last name, or they'll use a first initial and last name, or they have a specific email naming scheme, and off rip they could say like, oh no, that's not how we our emails are constructed, or this is not how our email address is supposed to look, right? And then they could verify. You could call, do different things. I would say the best thing to do is call in person, hear somebody's voice, get somebody actual help, but verify first. Another thing that you need to do to protect yourself is making sure you do not click on any links. You're not sure of the link, don't click on it. Stay away from the link. Next, you want to report the email to your IT team, to the service provider, the email provider, whatever. You want to report that email to them. Next, you want to use up-to-date antivirus and spam filters. Got to make sure it's up-to-date so it can be aware of the new signatures, because when the antiviruses and stuff get updated, they're being updated with new signatures for new types of attacks that these bad actors are coming up with. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comment below, and I'll see y'all in the next one.